Okay, but Kinsey, it looks like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will be iced out. What more can you tell me?
Well, can you blame America for icing them out? Harry
to celebrate the 250th birthday. But Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are set to be left out in the cold, lots of people are saying, and basically because they are no longer.
Hollywood's system and the US preferred the active royals. Harry and Meghan ignored, unimportant, and trying hard to remain noticed.
Joining me now is celebrity and royal commentator Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, multiple sources have told Page Six that the royal family will travel to the US to celebrate.
The announcement didn't just arrive, it erupted. A full-scale, reputation-crushing blast tore right through Montecito and left Harry and Meghan looking like they'd survived a social nuclear strike. Overnight, every major platform, from gossip sites to serious newspapers, printed the same headline with blunt force. The royal family is coming to America, and the Sussexes are completely missing. Not invited, not mentioned, not even quietly noted in the margins.
The royal family is gearing up for a trip to the US to celebrate America's 250th birthday next year, but there's of course speculation that there will be no reunion with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
The fallout didn't end with the news. Within hours, the story shifted from shock to pure embarrassment, a global moment showing just how low Harry and Meghan have dropped. The question wasn't, why were they excluded? It became, why would they be involved? That small change in wording said it all. A couple who once dominated every front page had faded into background chatter, and now the world was openly saying it.
50th birthday. Prince William and Princess Kate will be in America in July, while King Charles and Queen Camilla.
Diplomatic insiders murmured about the neat image of the tours. American planners quietly mentioned wanting calm and respectability. Even entertainment analysts, usually eager for Sussex controversy, seemed glad the chaos wasn't being welcomed back. Meghan, who built a second career through polished appearances, suddenly watched the world's biggest spotlight being prepared without her name anywhere near it.
Cold, according to sources that told Page Six. So, Andrew.
What made it sting more was how obvious the palace plan appeared. This wasn't avoidance. This looked like a delete button moment. The royal office wasn't dodging questions or giving foggy reasons. They just moved on, sure-footed and calm, acting as if Harry and Meghan were an old PR experiment that ended long ago. And in Hollywood, where attention equals value, nothing hurts like being treated as if you never counted. The monarchy took back America's attention, and they didn't even shout. They simply arrived without the pair who once thought they controlled the story.
Meghan have spent the last nearly 6 years disrespecting both parties involved here. At one point, they accused the royal family of racism, and Harry...
Before anyone could absorb the rejection, another harsh reality was already brewing underneath. Harry and Meghan's brand wasn't just shaking, it was slowly crumbling. Netflix, which once showed them off like valuable new stars, had fallen silent, uncomfortably silent. Once the first documentary excitement passed, every new concept seemed to drown before launching. Industry insiders stopped speaking about promise. They quietly mentioned burnout.
In July, but no reunion, apparently.
Absolute 250th birthday bash for America.
Spotify's exit hurt even worse. One platform ending a deal is expected, but a top executive publicly calling them grifters was the kind of blow that leaves a scar. Meghan's attempt to reinvent herself with American Riviera Orchard only made it look more ridiculous. The Duchess, who once saw herself guiding global charity work, was now selling jam jars and fancy labeled items like a stylish Etsy shop owner. The internet didn't just watch, it celebrated the mockery.
Once said on a phone call with who he thought was Greta Thunberg that
So when the palace announced the royal tours, the moment couldn't have been more damaging. Meghan was struggling to refresh her image with homemade goods, and Harry was hanging on to fading documentary pitches. Then the real royals stepped out with a roadmap that made the Montecito projects look embarrassingly tiny. The comparison wasn't light, it was crushing.
President Trump had blood on his hands. Harry has become allegedly a pot-smoking, pay-for-play royal speaking at a Hilton in Toronto next week, and Meghan is a...
People observed two separate directions, one based on heritage and duty, the other on gift baskets and quiet contract losses. And sadly for the Sussexes, reality isn't something you can correct in the editing room.
To Windsor Castle, I was outside waving the Power Hour flag, as you know, and reporting on that. And during that visit, the President Trump invited King Charles and Camilla and the royal...
There was once a moment when Harry and Meghan stood boldly on the world stage, ready to transform the monarchy for a new generation. Meghan was expected to be the American icon, mixing Hollywood polish with royal purpose. Harry, the prince admired for his honesty and warmth. Together, they were meant to blend old tradition with fresh innovation. The palace had opened the way. The world paid attention. The chances were endless.
Visit to celebrate the 250th anniversary. That is going to be a wonderful tour. Obviously hoping that the king is well enough because he's obviously...
But they wanted a different path. One bigger, brighter, more individual. They walked away from the system that once boosted them and believed they could create a stronger one on their own. They misjudged the strength of the institution they left behind and misread how little interest there was in a royal brand without royal responsibilities.
Health scares and so on and so forth. But they have been invited for this state visit in April, and they're gearing up for this star-spangled trip to celebrate.
Now the duties they gave up are thriving under people who value service over spectacle. The Commonwealth tasks they brushed aside are being handled smoothly by working royals who don't need cameras to prove their worth. The charity programs they exited have continued to grow without any Sussex presence. The saddest part isn't that Harry and Meghan lost their influence, it's that the monarchy didn't lose a thing. The system kept turning, the jobs were taken, events went on, and the world adjusted faster than expected. The couple who believed they were essential are facing the hardest truth. No one is essential when the institution existed centuries before you. And that truth is starting to hurt.
Working royals, that's the main sort of reason they're not going to be there. So the Declaration of Independence, well, they declare themselves independent from the working royals. And as a result, it's going to...
What the palace revealed wasn't a calendar, it was a calculated plan. 2 tours spread across months to flood the American spotlight with royal visibility from spring into summer. King Charles and Queen Camilla will manage diplomacy, private talks, and cultural work that strengthens long-term relations. Prince William and Princess Catherine will bring charm, appeal, and a fresh image that connects worldwide. It's a brilliant use of influence, and it leaves no space for Montecito to step in.
That she spoke to. They didn't name that celebrity. Do you remember that? And I do know I've been out to Montecito, and I do know that they've bumped into John Travolta there before.
The genius is in the timing. By the time the second visit starts, America will have spent months reconnecting with the crown in a way not seen since Princess Diana's unforgettable tours. People will remember the calm, the legacy, and the history the royals symbolize. The same strengths Harry and Meghan tried to challenge while seeking freedom. The image is remarkably polished. 2 royal couples committed to service, entering the U.S. with poise and certainty. No scandals, no Netflix film crew, no sudden tell-all moments, just the monarchy doing what it does best.
When they've been at the Polo Lounge as well. So it's a great place. The Polo Lounge is a great celebrity hangout. We're talking about bravery. So there's another quote here from this article where she's talking about her children in jam. And she says,
Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan will be left watching as the nation they believed they influenced becomes the center of a royal revival, one that does not include them at all. The palace never had to shove them away. It simply matured beyond the drama.
I'm so sorry. I mean, what does that mean? That goes completely over my head, and it just goes back to the narrative that she's talking nonsense. I mean, really?
Meghan always thought America was her arena, her crowd, her advantage. Her identity was built around it. The friendly modern duchess who linked two worlds and redesigned tradition. She pictured red carpets from Los Angeles to DC, reporters chasing her statements and admirers copying her style. But a harsh truth has arrived, and it's a story she can't reshape.
She is with this project, aren't we?
Yeah, thanks, Matt, for that.
It's utter drivel. I completely agree. I just think that
The American audience has given its answer, and it's crystal clear. Kate is the one winning hearts and headlines, not Meghan, not even remotely. Every event, every greeting, every well-timed smile from Catherine will command media attention. Fashion writers, political voices, and online creators will shift toward her. Hollywood stars will hurry to get near her. Charities will fight for her support. Photographers will follow her every move, while Meghan's Montecito estate sits quiet, missing the spotlight she once believed she owned.
the situation is that she's doing nothing brave in her life. I mean, for 5 years, or almost 6 years, she's been out of the royal family. She's been said that she was gagged while she was in there. Clearly, she's not. I mean, she hasn't got anything.
This isn't just a bruise to her pride. It's a total breakdown of the image she spent years crafting. Everything she claimed in the Oprah sit-down, every contract she secured with Netflix and Spotify, every hint that she was the future of the monarchy crumbles under the weight of one travel announcement. America is choosing heritage, grace, and responsibility over flash and self-branding, leaving Meghan behind. A duchess with no platform, a public figure with no crowd, and a story she can no longer command.
There's nothing brave about what she's doing. And I think about some of the royal family members who, fought in wars or represented the country. That's bravery. Not posing for a photo shoot with Harper's Bazaar. It's ridiculous.
Well, there's two other things from there that we picked.
If Meghan's worst fear is losing America, Harry's is even darker, being erased completely. The nation he escaped now embraces the family he distanced from, giving them admiration, attention, and influence he can no longer touch. His father will arrive with authority. His brother will arrive with charm and stability. The royal institution he once belonged to will flourish without him. And he will watch from the sidelines. Not a functioning prince, not an heir, and undeniably no longer essential.
Childlike wonder and playfulness.
I think he would hate that.
Do you think he would?
I think he would hate that. Yes, I think he'd absolutely.
Because a couple of days ago, she was showing, the amazing footage when he.
Harry, who once complained about being the spare, is now facing an even colder truth. He isn't needed. Every bond he built, every charity he supported, every bit of goodwill he earned has been smoothly taken over by the heirs and active royals who stayed loyal. William will take the duties. The contacts Harry works to form will now be used by others. The respect he held through work and presence has faded. By stepping away, he didn't just give up his position, he made himself unnecessary to the world he hoped to impress.
And the alarm goes and he's the hero running off to jump in his helicopter. And then she's calling him childlike wonder and playfulness.
I think, if she did that while they were still living in the UK.
Hollywood, the sparkling arena Meghan once believed she would rule, is choosing sides, and it is clearly not hers. When William and Kate arrive, A-listers will roll out the red carpet like it marks a new chapter. George Clooney, David Beckham, Spielberg, Tom Cruise, all will be maneuvering for closeness, eager to associate with legacy and strength instead of drama or sympathy. Designers, media giants, and tech tycoons will fight for access, building an air of importance that Meghan once imagined belonged to her.
Portrayal of Meghan, definitely worth a read. Just before we move on from it, can you tell me about this? So she was makeup free. Is that right?
Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan will be pushed to the sidelines, lucky to land a brunch invite or a brief mention online. Hollywood does not uplift complaints or staged victimhood. It celebrates clout, stability, and impact. And in this contest for cultural relevance, the Sussexes are already behind. The lesson is harsh and undeniable. Power draws attention, weakness drives it away. They fought hard for independence, believing leaving the crown meant freedom and a self-made empire. But freedom without influence is empty. They may do anything, yet nothing connects. The royals own the headlines, events, and media, while the Sussexes sell artisanal jam, run weak podcasts, and give interviews no one remembers.
Again, bravery. This is pretty ridiculous. I mean, this was a thing that in Hollywood probably 6 years ago was some sort of form of bravery, and you would, not have makeup on. I know Pamela.
Their independence has become a polished prison. They cannot direct narratives, shape news, or command loyalty as before. Invitations disappear, platforms shrink, influence dissolves. Freedom now feels less like escape and more like exile, a quiet penalty for exiting the system that once guaranteed relevance. And now the inevitable question arises. What will Harry and Meghan do when the real royals land in America? History suggests they will respond, but no move can win. A new interview ignored, a charity act overshadowed, a product launch mocked. Trying to compete with royal tours would only embarrass them. Even showing up uninvited would confirm their irrelevance.
I just don't think, Meghan pared back. We don't want the physical pared back of her. We would love a little bit more about what she's actually going through, a little bit more transparency. And I think that she's almost using that to deflect from the fact that
the monarchy has taken the spotlight back. The public is invested in their return, and Hollywood is openly siding with tradition. The Sussex brand, already fading, is close to being shredded by cultural reality. This isn't just a snub, it's a final, almost poetic erasure of the Montecito monarchy. When Charles, Camilla, William, and Catherine step on American soil, the message will be sharp and unmistakable. You wanted freedom, now stand at a distance, powerless and unnoticed, while the world keeps moving without you.